Okay.
We acknowledge and pay respect to the past, present, future traditional custodians and elders of this nation. We, Australia, and the continuation of cultural, spiritual, and educational practices of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples. We acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander were the first sovereign nations of the Australian continent. The Gadigal of the Ora Nation are the traditional custodians of this place we now call Sydney, and the Wongal people are the traditional owners of Burwood.
O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from the same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence they are all thy servants, and all mankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined through the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all. Thou hast provided for all, dost shelter all, conferrest life upon all. Thou hast endowed each and all with talents and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, raise aloft the banner of the oneness of mankind. Cement thou, O God, the hearts together. O thou kind Father God, gladden our hearts through the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all in the stronghold of thy providence. Thou art the mighty and powerful. Thou art the forgiving, and thou art the one who overlooketh the shortcomings of all mankind. Abdul Baha.
अच्छा, you have to unmute, sir.
Yeah. Behold how good and pleasant it is when brother dwell in unity, as the dew of Hermon and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessed life forevermore. Old Testament Psalm. Happy is the birth of the Buddha. Happy is the preaching of the sublime Dharma. Happy is the unity of the Sangha. Happy is the striving of the united ones. Buddhist Dhammapada sayings of the Buddha 3.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbour and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. New Testament.
And hold fast all together by the rope which God stretches out for you, and be not divided among yourselves, and remember with gratitude God's favour on you. For ye were enemies, and he joined your hearts in love, so that by his grace ye became brethren, and ye were on the brink of the pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus doth God make his signs clear to you, that ye may be guided. Let there arise out of you a band of people, inviting to all that is good, enjoining what is right, and forbidding what is wrong. They are the ones to attain felicity. Be not like those who are divided among themselves and fall into disputations after receiving clear signs. Holy Quran, Surah 2.
Be united, speak in harmony, let your minds apprehend alike. Come and be your prayer, come and be the end of your assembly. Come and be your resolution, come and be your deliberations. Alike be your feelings, united be your hearts, come and be your intentions, perfect be your unity. Riga Veda.
O children of men, know ye not why we created you all from the same dust, that no one shall exalt himself over the other? Ponder at all times in your hearts how ye were created. Since we have created you all from the same substance, it is incumbent on you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, and dwell in the same land, that from your innermost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you, O conquerors of light. Heed ye this counsel, that ye may obtain the fruit of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory. Baha'u'llah, Hidden Words, Arabic number 68.
Together the hearts, unite and bind. Together the hearts, join in accord all the souls, join in accord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together join in accord all the souls, join in accord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together. Join in accord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light
So, welcome all. Thank you for everyone who is participating here. And our speaker that I arranged, this is interfaith meeting that we have been having for more than 1 year to bring understanding about the different religions and to remove the prejudices. And we invite friends to give talk on any topic that they are passionate about and that is conducive for unity. So when the friend cannot give the talk today, I asked my new friends and old friends to give a talk, short talk for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes only, because we have 6 people who are going to give talk. And usually after the talk, we ask our friends to ask questions and discussions. But during this talk, I suggest anyone who has any question, please type it on the chat and let it be a brief questions or comments. And after all the presentation, then we can have lengthy discussions. So let me share the screen to introduce. So these are the friends who are going to give talk. The first one will be Sacha Evans. This is the first time I am meeting her online. I never met her on face to face. I met her on Nextdoor, that app. And she's an adult educator, life coach, and a counselor. And the next one is Jenny Dooley. She was with us in the last meeting. She's a retired art teacher, and she likes meditation and other things. Again, I met her on Nextdoor. Thanks, Nextdoor. Everyone should go on Nextdoor soon. And number 3 will be Pragya Tejaswini, and she is a management consultant. She has been working in Brunei and other countries, migrated to Australia recently. And we know her very well, and she lives in Burwood with her family. She's from India. And then number 4 is Angela Ambrosia. Again, another one I met on Nextdoor, but we are all familiar with her because she gave a presentation a couple of weeks ago, and she had near-death experience, and she has attended a few more meetings. And he's a healer and movement and meditation teacher, and she does many more things, but I limited space, so I didn't do anything much. And the next one will be Jaspal Singh. He's actually, I put doctor, not Mr. He's a retired medical doctor. He was a chief medical officer in Punjab. Now he is visiting his son, who is here in Australia, and he is practicing Sikh. And he gave a talk sometime back, a few months ago, and he kindly accepted to give a short talk for 5 minutes today also. And once all this finished, then we have Jacob Byrne. And Jacob also, I met him for the first time, but he's a Baha'i, he's a young man, very dynamic person. He was involved in the World Conference Organization in Perth. He will tell more about this. We are having conferences all over the world in March, April, May, many conferences all over the world, build a new world. And Jacob was one of the organizers in Perth, so he's going to share his experience and what we learned there. So without delaying, I will call upon Sacha to give a presentation. And I want someone to keep time, 5 minutes, and maybe 4 minutes, someone can remind. Can I ask Ahmed to do that? In 4 minutes,
Sure.
give a warning that it's 4 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Sacha, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everybody. So I'm Sasha. So I'm simply going to read. So I apologize for that, what I've written. In my short talk, I felt to share, to consider what is common, what's quite common to the experience of being human. And so in this moment, I only need to actually refer to what's happening inside me right now, which you may be able to detect, maybe not. There's these little fears, yeah? At the same time, a deeper yearning to be approved of, to be accepted, to be, my more than needs to be loved. That's right. So over my 50 years or so, since my schooling began, there has been often awkward feelings of not enough yet, not enough. And still this persists. Even now, it's here with me right now as I speak. So you see, I made a mistake when I was young, and I still make this mistake even in my old age. I made the mistake of imagining my value is dependent and conditional on how I show up in the world, on how well I perform, how well I achieve, how well I speak, how much I help, dependent on how correct I'm seen to be. These things, big and small. So in my own eyes, often I don't measure up. I fall short. And this sense of who I imagine I am oftentimes feels wobbly and shaky. And this has been a lifelong experience for me. So there's this fear. What is it about for me? It's a fear of being rejected by you and you and you. Who knows? By me, yes. And so, of course, the harshest thing of all is when I reject myself. As I said before in the beginning, at the same time, simultaneously, there's a longing to be loved by everybody, by anybody. Love in the sense of the deep sense of acceptance. And this is a seesaw on which this person has been going up and down. But recently, thankfully, gracefully, I've been learning, which I'm sure you can understand and appreciate, a realization that my value is actually not conditional. And it's a perspective of grace. Thankfully, a gift from God or the gods, a realization that here, nothing has to be done, nothing needs to be done. For here to be lovable. For here as human, as part of humanity, sometimes kind, sometimes not, in a state of growth and growing, maturing, often suffering, my ego's insistences and demands. And yet we are evolving. And so even though there is fear of what you may think of these words, what you may think of me, there's also beginning a reassurance that here is okay. That we're all actually okay in our own way. And that is the grace of unconditional love. Which is a balm to the weary.
We are on 5 minutes.
And my hope is for you that you feel this too. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Such a, I don't think that anyone actually have typed any questions.
I have a question. I'm trying to write, but I didn't know 5 minutes go so quickly. That was to me 1 minute. We were just going to listen. I wanted to know, how did you come to know the values? How did you reach these values?
We probably can go for 8 minutes or 7 minutes, because 6 times 7 is just something like 45 minutes. So.
You wanted to know how did I come to this realization?
Yes, yes, please.
I attended a spiritual awakening course, and although, I mean, a lot of trainings and a lot of study, but more recently, with the help of Eckhart Tolle and Joseph Scott from the coaching room, it's just become more embedded and more grounded within me. Yeah, just, and also I do hypnotherapy. So I think the more actually I do hypnotherapy, it's a gift that gives back. So the more I offer this kind of relaxation and going deeply into this kind of acceptance, it's working its way with me. Even as I help people, it helps me.
Yes. Thank you. And yes, we are all imperfect, and we are trying to show unconditional love that you were talking about. And this is what this community that we are trying to build is about. And I'm glad that you are part of it and you are making that happening around you. So Thank you. And we will have further discussion later on, but we will go to the next speaker. And that is Jenny. Is she here? Is Jenny here?
Yes, Jenny is here.
Jenny, can you unmute?
Thank you.
Okay. And Ahmad, you can time.
Okay, well, you asked for something I was passionate about, and I'm passionate mostly about creativity, which is huge, but after a couple of days thinking, I brought it back to the simply words. And being an art teacher, you know that I would have loved to have been painting for you, but so it's, for me, it's words that bring people together. Am I loud enough?
Yes.
You want me to be louder?
If you can come closer to the camera, it will be a little bit better, I think. Yes.
Okay. No worries.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try it. So, words bring us together. That's my topic. And I have my words written out very large, make it easier for me to read. So, to go back to last year, instead of playing computer games like I normally would, because I'm sort of a bit housebound and need a bit of distraction, I turned to learning languages. And I found that so much more rewarding than playing computer games. And here's something else I learned just this year. Since the start of the war in Ukraine, the number of people studying Ukrainian on Duolingo has increased 485% globally. The numbers of Polish learners has increased by 1,800%. And it may be assumed that people in Poland are welcoming and hosting refugees. That was from March 7 this year. I thought that was quite remarkable, and it shows solidarity with the Ukraine people, I feel. Well, they thought so too. So that was people learning Ukrainian increased 485%. And at the same time, Polish people learning increased by 1,800%. Now, back to English words. Bringing people together through words is books, plays, poetry, song, for a start. And I've turned to William Shakespeare's famous quote, "All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players." That's from As You Like It. And as players on the stage, if we feel like using that analogy, we need to work together, get our timing right, support fellow players, and gain the attention of the audience. I'm turning now to a famous opera singer in Sweden, and also she's written books. And in the book I have here, she uses the analogy of being actors, of we being actors on the stage. In her last chapter of her book, Our House is on Fire, Themes of a Family and a Planet in Crisis. The last chapter is called Scene 108, Places Everyone. So I'll turn to that book now. Our House is on Fire, for those who can see me. The last chapter. Melina Ernman says, I believe that life is not a dress rehearsal, and I believe that we have to rethink our approach. Of all the people who have ever populated this earth, 7% are alive today. That's us. That's 7%. We belong together. We are part of a whole that extends backwards and forwards in time. And it's up to us, this 7%, to secure everyone's future. That is our historic task, and we need each other more than ever. We need technology. We need sustainable forestry and agriculture. We need the companies, the economists, the politicians, journalists, and the scientists. And we need our amazing capacity for adaptation. And
Yeah, we are at 5 minutes.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Jenny, someone asked to show the cover of the book. Can you show the cover of the book again?
Okay. That the author, there's my cat there.
Our house is on fire.
Yes, and you can see the mother, it's the mother of Greta Thunberg
Oh, okay.
who writes that. Thank you.
Good.
We don't need to see you.
Thank you, Jenny. And so we are all here together,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to make the world better for the future.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And now we will listen to Pragya. Pragya.
Yeah, thanks, Eva. Well, I don't know why am I called. No idea what to talk. But since I love to talk, I will kind of give my 2 cents. So, there's something about my work that has always troubled me, and I thought I'll talk about that. So I worked in corporates, and in corporates, as soon as someone joins, most of us are actively discouraged to talk about our religion. So religion is a big no. Also, I will work with a lot of young minds, the teenagers, youngsters who have just finished their college, and I do induction programs. And there, talking about religion is a big no. You cannot, so in a professional environment, it seems talking about religion is treated as something that has this inherent capacity to create conflict. As if something, religion is it's evil and it would divide. No matter what religion we are talking about, you just cannot talk about it. And that's funny, and that's hilarious, because for centuries and for ages across the world, people have lived an ethical life, people have lived a peaceful life because of religion. There have been so many religions, and I mean, I'll talk from my personal experience. In days that were dark and things were not going good, it was faith that kept me going. If I didn't have that, I don't know where I would have ended up. But we can't share that. Why? Because somehow, and people have done bad things in pretext of a religion. So yes, we need to be cautious, but somehow we need to talk about religion more. Talk about the good things about religion. And I think the reason why we kind of don't talk about it was like Sasha mentioned. If we dress a certain way, if we talk a certain way, we look a certain way, we're part of that us. Then everybody else becomes them. And then it becomes us versus them. And then somehow that is converted to religion. It doesn't matter what holy book we read. It just doesn't matter which idol we worship. as long as my us includes everyone and there's no them, unless those them are bad people, should be able to share our thoughts. I mean, so many religions, so many ways to talk about God, so many ways, so many quotes to help you go through life. Such good, wisdom of ages, and suddenly it has become this bad thing. And I love this forum because here people from different faith can come and discuss ideas. It's beautiful where you can talk about your religion, you can ask questions about other religion. I mean, I have asked stupid questions to Siva about his faith. I mean, really stupid because I didn't know much about it. So I was inquisitive and he's given me all the answers.
There's no stupid questions.
Exactly. He says that all the time. I mean, never have I said this. He has not said that there's no stupid question. But this is so good because we can talk freely about it. And if I have a doubt, I can clear it rather than having, no, it's them, it's their religion. It's not my religion, so I'm not talking about it. I think if we could get there and if we could teach ourselves as well as our children that being different is good, that being different is not bad. It's spice of life. It makes things interesting. I mean, if the whole world was apartment blocks, it would be bad. I mean, the different architecture, different buildings are eye candy. So we need this. We need different we need thought processes. We need different thought processes. So we don't want one religion. We want different religions. And we want something like this where people can talk freely. There is one writer called...
we are at 5 minutes.
I'll just give this quote. It's very beautiful. There's one quote written by Elie Wiesel. He's a Holocaust survivor, and he's got the Nobel Peace Prize. And he writes that it's the questions that unite people, and the answers divide them.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Love it. So I'd share it with you guys.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So
I just want to say something here that Abdul-Baha has said that humanity is like a garden, and a garden is beautiful when there is multicolored different flowers in there and not just a single flower in there. And that's exactly what your talk represents.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Are you a mute?
I think, Tagia, you were saying something, but you were mute.
I was just agreeing to him and saying, yeah, we need different things, different multicultural or multi things, different things to life to be beautiful.
Yes, good. And Tracy has put a comment. Before that, I think Angela said, I think when Jenny was talking, she said, and we need cats and dogs. and for Brachia's talk, I think Tracy has said, even the so-called bad people are part of us. As the quote read, tonight the sun shines on all. Good. Yes, we are all one. And within each one of us also there is some bad and good. So there's no one is perfect anyway.
I'll have to say something here that the lack of goodness is bad. There is nothing called bad. It's the lack of goodness, or lack of goodness is evil.
Yes.
And we are the one who see the bad things. If we train ourselves to see only good things, then everything is good.
Yes, that's we'll have those discussions later on because I restricted these questions and discussions. Now we'll go to Dr. Jaspal Singh, 5 minutes. And he is very learned person, and he is still, I admire him. I went to his house and he has a big garden, a lot of vegetables and things like that. And you won't believe that he started studying pathology in the TAFE or uni here now.
Can I start it now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Your screen, are you sharing something?
Yes, yes.
Okay, try now.
No, we're not seeing you. We're just seeing you.
Okay, try to share now. Oh, sorry, I forgot Angela, but yes.
Okay, anyway. Can you hear me?
After Jaspal, Angela, I forgot the order anyway. Okay.
Sipa, don't you have to give permission for Jasper to be able to share the? You need to give permission.
Yeah, I think I gave. So let me see.
I think you have to make him co-host in order for him to be able to share.
Yes.
Can you see?
Okay. Not yet.
Try now. Can you try now, Jaspal?
Okay, anyway, you're hearing me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
See, long time back, we talked of Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, but we couldn't, and that time we couldn't talk about what he actually said. Today, in just 5 minutes, because it's a short time, and every word of said by Guru Nanak actually speaks of this word unity. I'm sure anybody who reads any word of what he said or what he collected in his, I will say, lifetime was of 239 years, because he changed 10 of bodies. He lived in 10 gurus, and total time was 239, and he collected not only own recitation, but also of 31 other bhagats which belong to India and even outside India. So 36, he collected a recitation of 36 bhagats. And just in short time, I'm talking of what is Mool Mantra. What is the basic mantra, what is basic upadesh, which every Sikh is supposed to recite in the morning before meditating. And that starts from one. One means God is just one and only one. Baha'is God, Islam's God, Christian's God is not different. The God is only one. The supreme power is only one, God, one. Ik Oankar. Oankar is the actually divine music which is in this word, which is prevalent in this word, and all the scientists have now agreed there is a divine music in this Brahman, in this word. And to this, somebody has named it Om, someone has named it as Oankar, but it is the same divine music, which, why I'm not able to listen it? Because my 10th door is yet closed, which will open only after I really practice Guru's teachings on how to open this 10th door, what we call as Dasam Dwar. So that Omkar, Ik Omkar, is the divine music in this word. Okay, Satnam, his name or his he is only truth in this word. This all materialistic word, including ourselves, are just perishable. We are here for some time, we will not be there. But his power, his image, he is for all time to come. And that is the only Sat in this world. Everything else is a Sat. Sat is only God. God is only a Sat. True, truth in this world is actually God. Sat Naam Karta. Karta means creator. He is the creator of this whole Brahmand, not only Brahmand, but many Brahmands. This whole universe was created by him, and when he created, nobody knows. But when he will also be only, when he will close this all world, nobody knows. It is all his will. And this world was made from just one word. When he said it's created, we call it as, somebody said it's a kun, somebody say it's kawao, but it was only one, that voice which was heard when this word was created. So Karta, Purukh. Purukh means he is living in this world. When he created, he is not gone away from this world. He is part of this world, and everybody lives in him. All creation lives in him, and he lives in the creation. So when we all are living with God, like a fish cannot be away from the sea. Fish will be in the sea, and sea will be in the fish. If fish says, no, I am separate from the sea, it's not possible. Like we cannot be separated from the God. God is inherent with us, and he lives within us. We are actually the abode of God. Satnam Karta Purukh Nirbhav. He is without fear. You see, everything in this world is with fear, including this Brahman, this sky, everything, all human beings for that matter. They have some of the other fear, but only God is one part which doesn't have fear. Nirvair. He doesn't have enmity with anybody. It is wrong to say that he punishes somebody, he does like that, he kills somebody. No, he is all Nirvair. Nirvair means he is full of kindness. He loves his creation, like mother loves her children and father loves their children. So Nirbhav, Nirvair, Akal Murat. See, this time has no effect on him. Time cannot affect him because he is beyond time. So Akal means he's beyond time. Murat means his power, his body, you can say, his own self is without Kal. Okay, the death doesn't come to him. He is never born or dies away. Okay, he's beyond the birth and death. Akal Murat. Ajuni doesn't come in Jews like us. Okay, we have come in Jews. He doesn't come in Jews. Ajuni. Sebang, who has created than him? The answer lies here. Swebhang, Apneya. He created himself. His prakash is for himself. He illuminated himself. He is self-illuminated. Swebhang. Gur Prasad. Now is how do I realize him? Now how do I realize him? The answer lies in Gur Prasad. You need the blessing of a perfect Guru. You must have the teachings of a perfect Guru. Perfect Guru, who is a perfect Guru? Perfect Guru is one who is never separate from his God, who always is one with God. And God has spoken through him. His tongue has been used for spreading message of the God. Okay, this whole Gurbani is Guru in itself. Okay. The whole Gurbani, God spoke through the Guru. Guru did say,
okay.
We are at 7 minutes now.
Okay, just for, I think Ahmad was supposed to say 5 minutes, and he must have said, okay, thank you.
The time is over? Okay.
Yes, and I think Angela has put a comment to your talk. Is the one sound creating earth, or is the sound of creation of all parts of the universe? That's Angela's question.
When there was nothing here, there was no earth, there was no sun, there was no this Brahman. Okay, the God lived in himself. Okay, this was all this fog was there all around. Okay, when this world started creating, God thought of creating this world. It was with one that musical sound. We call it as the kabao or the kun or so many maybe some other granths say so. But it was with a big bang. What we call it, scientists say it is bang theory, big bang theory. It is a true. The all books mention it. I mean, Guru Nanak has mentioned it. Pita to sao, eko ko vao, tiste hoye rakh dariyao. This is what in his own words. This world was created with one sound and then started the whole life.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And now I had to apologize to Angela because she was supposed to talk and I called her. So Angela, it's yours now.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a reason for the order like that. I needed to hear the one sound. So thank you, Siva, for making this space possible. And I want to echo what Jenny said about we need spaces to share about God. And when I was a child, I had a dream, constant recurring dream of people dancing in circles and holding hands. And the people in the circles, I never knew them, never met them. They were old. Some of them were more like flower type hippies. Some of them were children. They were all nationalities, different races. And I've had this dream come to fruition in my life. I've danced in many countries. I've danced in nightclubs. I've danced in the bush in Australia, in bush stuffs. I've danced in performances. I've danced in several continents. Not all the continents, not South America. I still haven't gone there. But I've danced with people and had spontaneous connections. And every cultural difference disappears when we dance. Everybody dances differently. And in my dreams as a child, we were all just experiencing the difference as one. So oneness does not mean sameness. So in echoing what Jenny was saying, we need spaces to experience difference. Oneness does not mean we're clones of each other. We are all different elements of a circle. And in my dreams as a child, we were holding hands in a circle. Lo and behold, I was born in Australia. Aboriginal dancers often have us in a circle. If you go to Africa, there's dancers in a circle. You go to Latin America, there's dancers in a circle. You go to all these different places, there's circle dancing. And I mainly studied Mid-Eastern dance, also known as belly dance. And belly dance is not always done in a circle. But if you get to a party, everybody gets into a circle and they start sharing together, and the whole mind and personality of the person changes. And this is what I've learnt through dance in all of these different places, from nightclubs to performances to parties and different cultural dance. People want to be one, but they need their difference celebrated. Just like Jenny was saying, and creating, like Siva and Vasanta have created this space to understand difference. And then connecting to what Jaspal was saying about the one sound, that one sound, I'm fascinated to know what Jaspal meant by that. And because in my experience of working with dance and sound, sometimes when we were dancing as a collective, it's not that my body disappeared, but my need to have importance, and what like Sashka was saying at the beginning about that fear of being relevant in a group disappears, because I am the group. I am accepted for who I am with all of my unique flaws and all my gifts, and I'm just myself celebrating that in the group. And that sound of the Big Bang, I experience that in those parties when we have that connected energy. Now, the party doesn't start that way. The party always starts, or the group gathering, where there's these conflicts or these personality insecurities. And then suddenly, at some point, it happens consistently, there's this gelling of the energy, and the energy flows. And people are just smiling. And then you'll be dancing with one person and maybe dancing with another. And the room, the vibration is connected. We're all different, but we're connected. And that Big Bang that happened, what happened was, in my experience, that light that lives inside our somewhere within our consciousness, it's there. It's scattered into all of the different parts of the universe. And we're at a point now when I experience group consciousness in dance, we're at a point now of trying to just accept each other as different, because we know we're all one. We know it deep inside our consciousness, but we haven't actually got past our concepts and our barriers and things like Jenny was saying, our separation in corporate places or teenagers now, you can't talk about God. You can talk about meditation and stress relief, but you can't really say about that feeling of connectedness. So we're just at the beginning in our society of really accepting difference is still a part of oneness. It's not about sameness. And I think we're still at that point of the universe expanding from that first Big Bang and realizing now what's the next step of coming back into that connection of oneness and earth. Thanks so much. So we're, just at the beginning of understanding that.
Okay. It's very brutal to just stop at 5 minutes. I don't know. This is all I'm learning because I was thinking how to manage these things when this chaos happens. But I think we are learning together. But yes, profound messages were given by these speakers. And we can see how they contribute to our understanding. And
I want to just clarify what Angela had asked me. Right now I can understand what she had actually talked about. Maybe my correct was not in that context. Actually, she talked about this divine music. Okay, this Bang theory is just when the world was made. The divine music is now even in this world. Okay, and really the realized souls, they even now listen to that divine music. We call it Anhadana, somebody calls it a Nad, somebody calls it is the Om, somebody calls it is the Anhadhun. But this divine music is even now in this universe. Okay, and that everybody can listen to that music when he's connected to his soul.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so we can see that we are resonating with these ideas and we are coming closer. And also there are so many mysteries that we have to unravel. So now, now I want to ask Jacob to tell us about these conferences that every Baha'i is talking about and his experience and what they were. How was it? Why these conferences?
Thanks very much, Siva, and everyone else. It's been such a wonderful gathering. I've really enjoyed it. I'll just share my screen if it's possible. Oh, okay, it worked. Cool. I was worried it wouldn't work because the talk before didn't. So yeah, I was asked to hi everyone, I'm Jacob, I'm from Perth, and I was asked to share about this community building conference that we had in Perth a couple of weeks ago. And really the story about these conferences started when the Universal House of Justice, which is the governing body of the Baha'i faith, called for conferences to happen all around the world. And they invited all the well-wishers of humanity. So just looking at this Zoom call, that seems like everyone here, the conversations that we're having are so in line with the conversations that have happened at these conferences. And really the idea is that, you know, recognizing that humanity is moving into a very special time in its maturity, I suppose, as a human race, that, you know, with everything we can see going on, like how can we consult to build a better world and build vibrant communities? So yeah, because of the COVID situation in Perth and how the COVID cases were going up and up and up, the Perth conference, actually most of the conferences haven't happened yet. Like the one in Sydney hasn't happened yet, or the few in Sydney, but the one in Perth, we had it as soon as possible to try and, with the COVID risk, to be as risk averse as possible. So there were 5 themes of the conference. So really it was Baha'u'llah's vision for humanity. The first theme was Baha'u'llah's vision for humanity, which I can really see in this gathering, you know, this vision of all people from all faiths, all backgrounds coming together, you know, as was described, the idea of a garden, that, a garden's beautiful when it's all different, the flowers are all different colors and shapes. Reflecting on our history of, like the history of contributing to try and make the world a better place. What does it mean to build vibrant communities? How can we promote education in our communities? And then how can we engage in social transformation? So then I thought I'd share some photos from the gathering. So it was at Optus Stadium, which was pretty cool. And so yeah, this was the first night. We had a variety of different dances and talks and that kind of thing. And it was a really wonderful space. And then this was the main hall. So most of the conference happened in this main hall. I'm not sure in Sydney what the arrangement's going to look like, but everyone sat around these tables. And really the idea was for it to be small group discussions. When we think about conferences, especially work conferences, it's, oftentimes someone giving a talk. But really like the idea behind these conferences was how can we make it as, so then we can really share our thoughts. And, same as in this space, we've all been able to like share and ask questions and that kind of thing. And so there was a lot of small group discussions around how do we create vibrant communities and discussing things like that, which was really, really nice. And it was great to see that everyone shared different things. And then we did a lot of arts as part of the conference as well. So for example, one of the things we decided, okay, imagine if there was a newspaper printed in 100 years, what would we want the newspaper to look like? And so these people have gone, instead of Optus Stadium, it's called Service Stadium, because everyone's like serving everyone in the community and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, there are a variety of different arts. And the idea was really the Universal House of Justice has asked for these conferences to be a space of joy and artistic stuff and that kind of thing, and really like a warm, welcoming space for everyone. And so then, yeah, this was they're reflecting on a history of endeavors, and it was really lovely hearing about from a panel around what their experience has been with things. And yeah, this was a big photo of everyone who was at the conference. So yeah, it was a really wonderful space. And yeah, that brings it to the end of the presentation. But I'd encourage anyone, I'm not sure of the details of the conferences in Sydney, but I'd encourage all of you guys to go, because I think it's very in line with the kind of thing that we're talking about today, about, that we're all connected, that, and for me, it was quite cool, because these conferences are certainly not just for Baha'is, in the sense that I invited 4 of my friends, 3 of them are Hindu, and then 1 was Christian, to come. And they were sharing that it was really eye-opening and very cool to see like so many people consulting about how can we make the community a better place. I'd like to invite everyone who can to come to the Sydney conference, and I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
Thank you.
Just to Angela's question, yeah, it was quite amazing actually. Not the war, obviously, but it was just a coincidence that they'd put flowers on each table in the conference, and the war started during the conference, right? It was maybe day 2 or day 3, but then the flowers on each table were all sunflowers, which is the national flower of Ukraine, which was it was a coincidence, but it was really wonderful. And when the war started, we said some prayers at the start of each day for peace in Ukraine, and yeah, but it was quite powerful, I think, to hear, to look at the space where it was, 1,000, there was about 1,000 people that came, and to think 1,000 people thinking about how can we bring peace to the world and build vibrant communities, and then contrasting it with some of the terrible things that are happening around the world.
Wonderful. Now, if anyone wants to ask questions, you can put your hands up or put your reaction button like this. You can do like this, or you can put your hands up. I won't be able to physically see. And then we will discuss from all these 6 presentation talks, or if you have your own ideas also, you can share. So now, Ahmad, And let us be brief what we are going to say. If this is a question, make the question clear so that everyone understands. Okay, Ahmad?
I don't have a question. I just want to say something about what Jasper was talking. That really the concept of God is meaningless without the creation. The two come in hand with each other. If there is creation and no God, it has no meaning. And if there is a God and no creation, it has no meaning. So the two go hand by hand. Just the meaning of the words by themselves cannot go single-handed.
Thank you. And,
as Jasper said.
And we'll ask Yung. Do you have?
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I like the ideas that Prajia mentioned, that at a large workplace, people don't talk about religion because there's something to do with the law. If you read into the discrimination law, you watch out for people get, discriminated against their ethnic or religious background or whatever. So it's important to go back to the law and read into all that concepts and clause and policies and processes and procedures, especially if you're in an induction program. So that is very important. The second one, Jenny was talking about people move around like acting on a stage of William Shakespeare. So it's another concept, mean that life passed very quickly. So we shouldn't be bothered about the little things in life because finally the curtain will fall down. So I don't know whether when Shakespeare writing it, he was talking about God or not, but he just want to tell us that life is not so much trouble that you have to worry about. And talk about Jacob, as I understood your concept is we're supposed to be moving to a vibrant community and advancement of religions, but we have to measure and test our tolerance to each other. If we want to be oneness, there will be dark forces and light forces. So therefore, at the moment, as I see it, through the social media, people talking about your land, my land, right? So God sent the flood. So now, how you have to wait until the water coming down and start talking about your land and my land again. But that was a warning. So actually, if we talk about religion and Holy Spirit, we got to go back to the basic. Basic is tolerance and harmony. And we haven't got that. Can't get into anywhere close to it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Pragya has said in the chat, it is so exciting to see so many children in the picture. I think in the Jacob's presentation, right? Yes, Pragya, yes. And Angela says, I'm wondering how we can make sharing of faith and religion more inclusive of people who don't like to talk about religion or faith or God. That's a good question. So who would like to answer that question? It's a very, Jacob, you want to say anything to that question? Or anyone else? Wondering how we can make sharing of faith and religion more inclusive of people who don't like to talk about religion or faith or God. Yes, that should be an important thing. Who like to answer?
I think it's by deeds. If we have our deeds in proper way, they realize that we are aiming at harmony. You know, people's deeds are so important in causing harmony.
Yes.
I think Vasanta.
Well, do you want to answer this question or another point?
No, I don't want to answer that question. I wanted to ask Jacob about how the children participated and what their contribution was. And
No, hold on. Let's. I think Sachi wants to say something. Is it answering the question or your question?
Answering the question.
Yes.
Only in this case, since we are having various beliefs and things like that, what I have come to, I was also in religions, in all the religions, and finally I have come to the nature. When we all accept nature is the God, then it is a common thing for all of us, and we are seeing things and events happening now. So the control is there. And about creation, I would like to ask, number one, who created? You can say God, or I'll say nature. Then when? Because no one is coming out with the time factor. When the creation, when the human was created, the whole creation happened, or the creation was there and the human came in, as like in evolution, and things like that. So that should be clear. Then why? Why was the creation happen? Is it a play of God or just a natural process? So those have to be clear. Then how? How is, of course, I would go to science and history, Big Bang, and the time factors. So when we clear all these, and Angela, I think, was asking about this, questions unite and answers divide. Questions divide because we have different beliefs. That's the thing, because my brain is thinking this way, your brain is thinking this way, another one is thinking the other way. So the questions always are the same. Who is God? When was the creation? Like that. Or everyone is asking the same question, especially the new generation, young ones. And answers divide because we tell what we feel, what we believed, what someone told, what something like that. We have to forget everything, and we have to go into our wisdom and analyze. You ask yourself, don't ask yourself whether believing or others believing is not a problem. For you, you must have a clear consciousness about the processes or what is happening. Say, for example, our first speaker, Satya, was more worried about the others, what others think about me, of my life. Actually, if you analyze, our half of a life is being spent on thinking about others. So we are really wasting our time. Our life is only short. So there is no time to worry about others. You do it for and have right thoughts, have better human values, then you are there. So you don't need to worry about others. What is he thinking? It is your life. When you are in difficulty, are they going to come in? No. When you are happy, they may join sometimes. So better, don't worry about others. You live your life. And yes, okay. That's all I think for the time being. If anybody want to ask me, I would be happy because I told this.
Thank you, Sachi. I mean, I admire and appreciate Sachi. Sachi is from my country, from my school, from my university, and we were practicing the same religion, that is Hindu religion. but I have become a Baha'i, and he has a different view now. But here we are actually collectively trying to understand one reality or one truth, which is an unknowable essence. So that's the beauty of this forum. And I just want to remind everyone, and I once in a while I remind these things. You can all see the screen. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. This is from the Universal House of Justice, that supreme administrative body of the Baha'i Faith. They wrote on the 25th of November 2020, which I like it so much that I share it wherever I can. It says, but whether through deeds or words, the merit of your very contribution to social well-being lies first in your resolute commitment to discover that precious point of unity where contrasting perspectives overlap and around which contending peoples can coalesce. So naturally from this, the 6 friends, they gave a short talk, and we have given our responses, questions. So we can see there are a variety of different perspectives. Now, but if we are all trying to do something good for the society, then whatever we do or whatever we say, the merit lies in trying to find the precious point of unity among these contrasting perspectives. So I urge friends to try and see from these variety of opinions about a particular issue, what is common, and then try to bring the other opinions closer to this one. Now there are some on the chat. Pina said that about sharing of faith and religion, maybe more of interfaith meeting like this on Zoom or in person when possible. Also, in personal or media context, we can offer the words of God about oneness. Yes. But then, Angela's question was how to be inclusive of those people who don't want to talk about this or who don't believe in this. How? I mean, because if humanity is one, how to bring them all together? And then there was another comment, Pragya. Could it be that questions are the remedy for solitude? After all, we have learned from history that people are united by questions. It is the answers that divide them. Yes, as she mentioned that in the quote, I remembered when Sachi was talking, yes. So the questions is trying to unite us, but the answers actually divide us. But we have this question, what is this? How this universe came about? What is the purpose of life? So these are the questions that is actually uniting us. Thank you, Pragya. So Vasanta, sorry, you had that hand up earlier. Can you ask your question?
Just wanted to know about the involvement of the children at the conference and what was their reaction and what the other parents thought about it. Jacob.
Yeah, I think, I mean, what the conference was trying to do was bring together whole families. So, it was targeted towards everyone. So then there are a lot of children and like young teenagers and that kind of thing that came along. But then it was important, I think the organizers were thinking it's important that the kids don't just like get put into another room and just like entertained in a sense, but it's like we were thinking, how can we have a similar program, like talking about these similar themes, but obviously like adjusted to like, and with games and these kind of things incorporated, but cover the theme. And so from all, I wasn't directly involved in the children's program, but from all reports, it seemed like it was a really wonderful space. And I know one of my friends that I invited to the conference from a Hindu background, he actually helped out with the children's program, and he said it was so wonderful seeing like all of these kids talking about these ideas of, you know, like love and unity and learning about these concepts. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it seemed like it was the children's program was really wonderful, and the idea behind the conferences, and I'm sure the ones in Sydney will be the same, is to try and be as inclusive as possible for everyone.
Thank you. So everyone here, you can bring your family to the conference. You can bring your you can bring Anika. Thank you. And Ahmed.
Yeah, just wondering whether the conferences in Sydney have been postponed for a bit because of the rain. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure. But I want to talk about something that Sachi was saying, that about nature. We have to see. In my view, we are above. We are a spiritual being. We have to look at universe and its creation in a broader sense, that the whole thing is a spiritual existence, and we are spiritual beings. We have a soul that God has given us, and every religion says the same thing, that we possess soul, and that suggests to me that we are above the nature. We have to look at the whole thing more than the nature. We are going through a transit life within the nature, but we are a spiritual being that God is sending us through different worlds. We live in the womb of the mother for a short time, 9 months, and now we are in this world, and our lives are very short. It's only maximum 100 years. So obviously there is a transition from these worlds to another world. So we should look at ourselves as spiritual beings created to go through these transitional worlds, and consider nature under us rather than within us. Although we are physically, we are part of the nature, we are above it. And science now is able to manipulate nature. Okay. So that's a clear sign that we are above nature.
Well, then these are the points. I mean, we have to be mindful how we can find the common thing rather than trying to.
Well, the common thing is that we are in this physical, natural world for a transient time, but we are spiritual beings.
Yes. Okay. Now, our friend Jacob has some other meeting, so he has left. He might send me a message. And then Tracy has said part of the answer might be acknowledging the universal desire. And to that, Angela is asking Tracy, what is the universal desire? So, Tracy, you want to comment? Yes, Tracy.
I sent it off too soon, but that sense of wanting to belong or being connected to something bigger than ourselves. And, everyone feels energy, music, everyone feels the vibrations of music and that connection. I mean, that's why songs are so powerful, because, and the songs that talk about love or talk about our common dream of peace, most people respond whether they believe in something or not. They respond to that. They become happier and feel more that's true. So anyway, So that's a way of, music is a way of bringing us together.
Thank you. Okay, Yung, brief. Be brief.
Yeah, very brief.
Yes.
Thank you so much. My statement is, a lot of people, they were reluctant to talk about religion, especially in a crowd, because the law protected them, because the level of tolerance among people might be lower than that speaker. And we want to connect to something bigger than yourself, but you have to watch out, be alert, because people use religion to just only like to start a conversation. And then after that, they draw people into another sphere, like paradigm shift. I mean, go to other field like political, lobbying, and this and that and that and this. And it creates, you know, it's not good for the government anyway. So therefore, they want to put a law to protect people. Just be aware, because when you say something, the other group might not agree with you, and then create, you know, like disagreement, and therefore it's not productive for the workplace, because they employ people to be productive, not to come and just talking, and then people get withdrawn, or they throw people into another paradigm dimension.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And Jasper.
I wanted to say there's nothing wrong in raising a question.
Yes.
The big personalities on this earth, for example, I'm talking of Guru Nanak. In his very first Bani, he raises a question in the start. How can I be one with God, and how can this falsehood of Maya or this worldly falsehood be removed from my mind? Okay, then he again raises a question. What should I keep gift to you, O God? You have given me everything I have is given by you, then what can I give you? So that I can see your abode. Okay. What should I speak from my mind? You start loving me, God start loving me. And he himself answers this question. Amrit Vela such now. Oh man, this is what you can offer. Get up early in the morning before dawn. Okay. Be just in deep meditation with God. Okay. Meditate upon his name and think of what God, what is big thing about God? What are qualities of God? Just imbibe yourself in the qualities of God, and this is how you can come to my abode. And this is you will see that God prevalent all over. This you do. This you can give. Yes, this is one thing gift you can give to God.
Thank you. Yeah, so he himself has asked questions and he's answering.
Yes, he himself raises questions, then answers that question.
Good. Okay. I think earlier Sachi put his hand up and then he has taken away. Do you want to say anything, Sachi? You have to unmute.
Yeah. It's about the question what Ahmed was mentioning. It's just an explanation I can say that we may be spiritual, but nature is above everything. Nature means not what we find in our planet. Is beyond that in the universe. So that is why I asked the question, when did the creation happen? Because there was a time, pre-human era, where the dinosaurs were dominating our planet. So we are the latecomers. So we can never say that we are the important people. That is like putting the cart before the horses. So we should accept that we came late by evolution. That's again another science. History and science both are telling this way. But if we take the other way, the other question is, why did God create all this? Is he having a play or a drama or something like that? So those are the questions that I took it and I thought there should be some other better reasoning. Other thing is the very important factor is the time. Can anyone tell me when the planet or the universe was created and when we were created, life or even human? If someone can answer me this question, then we can look into that happily. But it's not it's a controversial question I'm asking. I'm very eager to know.
The question of time.
Time and why.
No, wait, Almond.
When and why.
Yes. The question of time for the meeting has come too. So I will pass Sachi's phone to Ahmad and Ahmad's phones to Sachi.
Yeah,
we can have a consultation off the screen afterwards.
No, it is not for Ahmad only. Anybody, they can tell me, I will be happy.
Okay, we will have anyone who is interested in this topic, we will have a separate session, and it will be a lengthy session. It won't finish in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Anyone who is interested, please let me know. We'll have a separate meeting for that. And Rahul, you put your hand up earlier. Would you like to say anything? Rahul? And we have a friend, Fred Martin, joined for the first time. I don't know. Would you like to introduce yourself? Do you want to show your face, please, Fred?
May I start?
Rahul.
Hello, everyone. It's Rahul from India. And I was listening from the beginning, and for some phone calls, I missed the middle of some session. But whatever I was listening from every speaker was really thought-provoking from the beginning, how to overcome fear of being not acceptable. From then, everything was so fantastic. But the question was asked that how we can share about God who don't believe in God. So I was just not for answering the question, but I was making my answer to my mind is that believe in God is one different thing, and going with nature is one different thing. Suppose man have came from evolution, that how did man has came? We know the history, the earlier days, how men were there, and how they have developed science and technology in one hand, and they're developing by day. Some scientists are there who are inventing new ways of making life easier. But the very beginning, when science was not developed so much, people were growing simply. That means life was so simple to hunt animals and to eat. History, we have read the histories. So men have developed until to this age. That means we can see each other face to face, although you are another part of the world and I am another part of the world. So from there to here, and many ways to go from now. And if you see, if you put it in another side, and if you simply see that how men become so capable to invent this type of things, and is it possible for a man to get this type of ideas simply? Is it possible for a man to learn by his limited knowledge? So this type of question I was asking to my mind. And suppose in another hand, that science is there, science will tell about how to invent things, but you have to know how to utilize it. Suppose everything has come, the science has brought everything for easier to make our life easier. Bombs have invented there, and everything science has invented. But your quality of sacrifice, your lovingness, your respect toward elders, your good habits, science cannot tell about sacrifices. Science can never tell about sacrifices. So we need both the two things hand in hand. And this, when these both things go hand in hand, it's called material progress in one hand and spiritual progress in one hand. And the invention will come from the body of science. That means the knowledge will come from the well of science. And this concept of love, concept of loving each other, concept of oneness come from the religions. And we all know religion is progressive. From the men, from where they have come from, and now many more ways to go. And in my simple understanding, we have some laws, because for marriage we didn't have any laws before. At the very beginning, we didn't know about laws. For burial grounds, for cemeteries, we didn't have any laws, and most of the things we didn't had any laws. But simply we have learning the laws, like we have to do for make it little spiritual. So laws are there, and if you don't obey the laws, suppose traffic rules, laws are there. We have to go in our left hand, and we have to go in this much limited speeds. So if you cross the laws, dangerous will be for yours. You may got accident, you may die. There is a law of gravity. If anything fall down from the above, it will fall below. But suppose you don't believe in these laws. Suppose you don't believe and you jump from the 5, that means above 5 buildings. So, and you don't, because you don't believe in the laws and you jump from there, you will be destructed, whatever you will get. So if you don't believe in laws from the God, destruction is yours, not God's. And suppose if you look around the world, what you will observe, and is anything different in you and me? I don't think so. Is anything different? But if you don't know the real knowledge of God, real revelation of God, sometimes we stuck in somewhere. Sometimes we put someone's, you are Christian. Sometimes we put borders. I am Hindus. You are Muslims, and most other things. But if you we really understand the real knowledge of God, then we will know we are one. We are the one branch of a tree. We are the one leaves of a tree. And what makes us united is, what is the difference between a dead man and a human being? Suppose a dead body. In my belief, he don't have spirit, what we call soul, right? And we are alive because we have the alliance between soul and the body. That's why we are alive. So the soul is within you, the soul is within me, which is the real aliveness of a human being. Like sometimes we fight in each other. So if there is a vast ocean and the waters, the waves are fighting with each other, like you are a small wave, I am a big wave, I can destroy you. We are fighting like this. But if you see really, the waves are nothing but the waters, and waters are all equal. So if you see that there is nothing difference between you and me, and if you just, we are not introducing God is there or not, but we think we need to have some spiritual qualities to make our life better, to make our life easier, because we have to need cooperations during the COVID-19. If you don't cooperate, you and me, suppose if I'm not vaccinated in my area, all will be affected. So a single works, your single attitude towards life, your single attitude toward works toward human body can uplift the betterment of the human civilization. Suppose I am vaccinated and I will help others to be vaccinated, it will help the human body. So you and me is like a virus came from China, is affecting whole around the world. So we can think how important is to have the means of cooperation in each other, love to each other, and sacrifice to each other. And all this will come from the religious books, which is we can say religion. So religion is progressive, and if you accept the religion if you accept the manifestation of God as a teacher, all human beings will be benefited. So I was just thinking in my mind. Thank you for giving me opportunity to share.
Thank you, Rahul. He has come once or twice before. He is in India, but he is very, he has profound knowledge. Thank you very much. I think, Tracy, you want to say something?
I know, I was just saying, echoing, really appreciating what he was just saying. I agree, cooperation, and we're all part of one body. One day we'll find out we're inside some big creature.
Thank you. And I think Ahmad has sent a quote. It says, "O son of man, who wailed," this is in the chat, "who wailed in my immemorial being and in the ancient eternity of my essence, I knew my love for thee, therefore I created thee, have engraved on thee mine image and revealed to thee my beauty." It's from the hidden words of Baha'u'llah. So God is saying to us that he loved us, that's why he created, and he has engraved his image, and that is what the soul is, and that is what the oneness of humanity is. Thank you, Ahmad, for that. Now we are coming closer to 9 o'clock. Fred, would you like to say something, Fred? He said his camera is not working. Can you say something, Fred? Fred? Okay. Is there anyone else who has not spoken yet would like to say anything? Marina, Pina, Colin, Robert, Ali?
Just want to thank all the speakers. That each 5 or 6 minute talk was really moving and meaningful. I really appreciated it. Thank you.
Yes. Robert? Tracy? Oh, you.
I think Pina wants to say something.
Okay.
I just want to thank everyone, and I'm so impressed about the conference in Perth. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob left, I think.
Yes, left.
Yeah, it is just so wonderful with all this. No, we have just read about it, about the artistic and the themes and all that. And here we are seeing in pictures. Isn't that so wonderful?
Yes.
They have done it. What an example for all of us. It's just so wonderful. And the talk of Rahul, oh my, that's wonderful too. Thank you. And all the speakers, of course, they are wonderful. Thank you too.
This one is actually a mini conference, what we are having now.
Yes. Yes. It's a taste. It's appetizer.
Yeah. And yes, Young.
Yes, I just want to talk about Angela dancing.
Yes, you want to.
So it was very interesting to hear your story, and I thought you have a great degree of tolerance that you dance with your friends, and you're not scared of they step on your feet. So, I mean, safety. I mean, worry about your safety. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And just I'll show you a small video of the conferences that was happening in other parts of the world. My internet is not.
Conferences aim to prepare all those well-wishers of humanity who are engaged in and committed to building vibrant communities as we prepare to enter a new stage in our endeavour.
So you can, Angela, you can come with your friends, we can dance. These are some of the pictures of these conferences. Look at this design. So in Australia, there will be about 80 conferences all over Australia in these 3 months. And together we are working to make the world better. And everyone is invited. So I hope all of us will be together and participate in this conference. This is a historic moment because we never had conferences like this before. This is the first time we are bringing whole humanity to understand the vision of Baha'u'llah, that is to bring unity in the world. And we can build that together, and we can explore together how we can do it in our own neighborhood, in our own reality. Yes. So these are all from different countries here in Burundi. So Toronto, Canada. Conference in the Central African Republic. Do you want to watch this?
Yeah.
Cette conférence est organisée par le Conseil régional Baha'i de Plateau. Durant 3 jours, les participants auront à réfléchir et traiter 4 différents sous-thèmes, à savoir la vision de Baha'u'llah pour l'humanité, contribuer à la transformation sociale, la distance ou chemin parcouru par le mouvement et des activités éducatives et instituts de formation. L'une des participantes, Laurentine Zengo, trouve que c'est un moment où chaque groupe doit profiter pour finaliser la planification.
C'est le Centre national Baha'i avec l'appui du Centre régional Baha'i qui a organisé le travail que Baha'i a mené. Ça ne concerne pas seulement les femmes Baha'i, ça concerne toutes les femmes. C'est pour cela qu'on a appelé toutes les femmes d'autres religions pour venir s'associer avec nous afin qu'on puisse aller travailler ensemble sur ce principe-là. On va prendre 3 jours. On est vendredi, samedi et dimanche. Ça finit le dimanche à midi. 600 femmes de différentes localités. La venue de Baha'u'llah, pourquoi Baha'u'llah est venu? Baha'u'llah est venu pour l'unité de l'humanité. C'est le grand thème. Maintenant, pour que l'humanité soit bien unie, il faut que les femmes soient vraiment imprégnées dans le travail que Baha'u'llah leur a donné. Donc, on a vu que la femme sache exactement ce qu'elle doit faire pour cette venue-là, pour ce principe-là. Le rôle de la femme dans la société.
Yes.
Cette conférence est...
Okay, I think that's a lot of things. Maybe you can watch, look at this at the website called newsbaha'i.org.
Africans have such a beautiful, colorful dresses. It's like...
This just, they had, that particular one was women conference. They had about 500 women gathered together. So they are exploring different themes and different ways. So thank you very much, everyone. And Tracy says good night. And for everyone who are interested and concerned about the indigenous people, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., Tracy has this meeting where we talk about this Uluru statement. So you can participate in that. And also there is a group in UK. Every day, 3 times they have meditation for world peace. Every day, 3 times they have meditation for world peace. So you can, if you are interested in world peace and you want to meditate, they have half an hour of meditation, and then they have some talk, but that is in Tamil, but at least you can participate in the meditation. So thank you everyone, and it is wonderful. This is a period of fasting for Baha'is, and but it is full of spirit and a lot of energy for us.
Simo, I think we should share the registration website of the conference in Sydney in the WhatsApp. That would be.
Yes, I will. And I thought I was sharing that. I will share that on the WhatsApp. Yes. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all.
Very good night.